system. This morning, we're going to be having a special guest, a good friend of ours, Adrienne Williams, is going to be leading us, and she happens to be a educator as well. So we're super stoked that she gets to lead us through with her skill set in this area and her love of teaching and sharing her journey. I think most importantly, that's why we do this. It's experiential, and she's going to share with you what she's taking. So Adrienne, love to hear what you have this morning in terms of sharing your insight on this section of the Habits Health System.
Wait, I have a question first. Can you just update us on this transformation, you guys? I have the privilege of being able to run into her physically every now and then. We just did for coffee, both her and Anthony. And I just had to stop and stare. Okay, I mean, we have to, let's celebrate that for just 1 second before you go into giving us the application of what you're learning. Tell us about your transformation.
Well, we started in June of 2021, where we found this wonderful program and set out on a journey to get healthy. I've lost 70 pounds since June. And I'm going to tell you something. Prior to finding the program, I never thought, I didn't think I could lose 50 pounds. I thought maybe 30. I can, yeah. But I remember having that conversation with myself. There's no way, and just get it out your head, you're never going to lose 50 pounds. And here I am, 70 pounds down. And Anthony?
Oh, wow. Yeah, like she said, June 18th, we started this tremendous journey, 252 pounds. And wow, 174 right now. Couple more pounds to go to be where I want to be, but man, it's been absolutely exciting. And for those of you that are new, the journey is sweet. When you hit that fat burn, it is sweet, and so we're just excited about it.
Oh yeah, great. So let's dive right into element 16. Because I'm telling you, he wrote this with me in mind. The addictive foods. Dr. A had to be thinking about me when he wrote this, because I did not even know. I didn't know this, but I sure experienced it. I want to start right in on page 318. Where it talks about in the middle of the first paragraph, it talks about in this element, we're going to help equip you with a better understanding of why these toxic non-food substances should be treated much like you would cocaine or heroin. What are they talking about? The toxic foods. Those are the ultra refined sugars and flour. These things give you a quick fix of a sugar jolt, but a very short lasting pleasure. Okay, I don't know about you. Can you throw a 7 in the chat if you had an addiction to ultra refined sugar and flour? Throw a 7 in the chat. Okay. Throw a 5 in the chat if you didn't find that out until after you discovered Optavia. Okay, so let's go right over, and I love the way we toggle between the life book and the habits of health. It just totally blew me away, and I'm glad he called it white powder, because I don't know about you, but I stayed away from drugs. I have a family background of addiction to alcohol, and on my father's family side and everything. And I knew to avoid that, because I said, everybody seems to get into that and keep going until they're addicts with it. I don't want any of that. I knew to avoid that. I knew to avoid drugs. I saw too many people get involved with drugs and mess up their lives. I knew I didn't want that, but I had no idea that sugar, refined sugar, heavily refined sugar and flour was just as addictive as cocaine or heroin. Wow, mind blowing. Let's go right into page 241 in your habits of health. Dr. A has this toggle right there in where he says go to page part 2.5. And we're going to read this white powder section. Coca chewing and drinking coca tea is carried out daily by millions of people in the Andes. It is considered sacred within indigenous cultures and does not cause any harm. In fact, it is beneficial to human health. But as you will know, the coca leaf can be refined and turned from a healthy natural food into a dangerously addictive substance. Sugar from, and I think it goes in here talking about sugar cane and flour coming from where they are, it's not bad. But when you do this heavily refining stuff to it, it becomes very addictive. Okay, it says that's what happened with sugar cane and flour. They have been turned from a healthy food with great nutritional value into cheap, readily available calories that have little or no nutritional value and create metabolic and inflammatory. I had inflammation running through my body, in a lot of pain, was in a lot of pain daily, and did not know it was caused from this. They are also highly addictive. Okay, I can remember experiential. I'm gonna throw this in here. I can remember as a teenager, and this is just how, you know, I was innocent. And I was with a boyfriend. We went over a friend's house and they had this mound of something on the coffee table. I said, why would they put sugar on the coffee table? Why would they do that? I don't get this. I didn't know that it was something else, some other addictive stuff. But if you look at these two pictures, the one on the left, the left brain, that's your brain on sugar. And then the right one, that's the brain on cocaine. They look the same, exactly the same. It has the same addictive power. I would like to hear at this point, is there somebody in here that found out like I did in coming into our program that they were very addicted to sugar and flour? Is there anyone that would like to share their experience?
Hi, this is Carol. Can you hear me?
Hi, Carol.
Hi, sorry I'm not on I'm driving. So I can definitely say that I was addicted to sugar, not so much flour, but sugar. And just to tell you how much addiction I have in my lifetime eaten a whole cake in 2 days by myself. And have purchased a birthday cake, and it wasn't anybody's birthday. So I understand totally about the sugar addiction. I guess I was celebrating my birthday early when I was doing that. But anyway, it is very addicting, and I thank God for this program and for the teachings, because I would have never known that it was a switch that got turned off in my body that caused me to want more and more and more and more and more, and not being able to satisfy what was happening. Also learned that my sugar addiction became readily insatiable when I was under stress. So this program helped me to identify the link between when I was doing it and what was even causing it to be more addicting. So just wanted to share that.
Wow, thank you, Carol. That was really, really good. Is there anyone else that has something they would like to share about what they found out?
Could I say something real quick on that? my wife and I had made changes years ago prior to our discovery of Optavia, where we stopped drinking soft drinks, and we've been drinking water for years, and even introduced that to our children, who have grown up, basically doing the same thing. So I didn't think sugar was an issue to me, but what I discovered once being on Optavia and my coaches leading me, we kept hitting areas of being stalled with our weight loss journey. And I love to cook. Some of the seasonings that we use have sugars in them. And so, we had to be very careful with that. So what happened is, once the program started to really work for us, after about 2.5 to 3 full weeks of really being in fat burn, the issues I was having with my ankles, my legs, my kneecaps, my hips, my elbow, this over 50 thing that we start to notice, all of those are completely gone. And that is because what you just mentioned, the inflammation that sugar brings and applies to that. So thank God for Optavia and this knowledge that Dr. A's brought to us.
Excellent, excellent. And I love that you said that you guys had started drinking water from way back when. I'm going to tell you, with me, I did not drink water. I did not drink water. I couldn't understand. I remember thinking, when we would go out to restaurants, who's going to order water? When you're at a restaurant, you can get that lemonade, the pink lemonade. I didn't understand why people would do that. So because, I had this sugar addiction. Now, the drink didn't have to be really sweet, but I just had to have something other than water. I noticed when I got on this program, I could not believe, when I'm doing health assessments and I ask people, well, how many meals and snacks do you eat? And they say, oh, like 2 meals and maybe 1 or 2 snacks. I'm thinking, what? I ate 3 big meals and I snacked from one meal to the next nonstop. It was cookies. I never ate just one. Okay. Sad to say, I would buy Girl Scout cookies, and we had, when the kids were growing up, 7 kids in the house. I'd buy me a few packs, and I'd buy them 1 pack to share, because they had to be all mine. And I did not understand when I got on this program. I said, I'm eating these meal replacements, and they're so small, and I'm not hungry. This goes back to what Carol was saying, that when you're eating all of that sugar, if you turn with me back in our life book, talk back here to page 320, this insatiable hunger, okay? Carol was referencing that there is leptin is the hunger suppressant hormone that's released by our fat cells, and it tells your brain you're not hungry anymore. Well, if you go down a little bit lower, it says researchers have found that as insulin rises in response to eating sugar and flour in refined food, it blocks leptin, and it's no longer capable of suppressing hunger. No wonder I was constantly hungry. I was eating all those sugary things. It did not block that. So I was hungry and still wanted to be satisfied. What I have found, and this chapter here has really helped me to see that even as I'm transitioning, I have to be aware of this problem right here. Because I'm going to be honest, I've fallen in this area because I'm transitioning. I'm kind of building back things in there. And I'm just telling you, I see it. I see that I still have those old habits, and I need to really hone in on this and change these things, because these are the things that trapped me before. Okay. It is like a drug. I can look way back into my childhood, and that's all I ate was sugar. Okay. High school, I ate a Twinkie, not a Twinkie, but a Ding Dong and a high C orange drink every single day. That's what I bought for lunch. Then I went on to college. I ate macaroni and cheese out of the box and like a high C drink. And then of course the cookies and the cakes and all that. That was my life. you know, and this is my addiction. And I really began to think about this and said, you know, we teach our kids to not drink. You know, we don't want them drinking until they get a certain age. And some of us teach them that, you know, you don't drink at all. And we definitely teach them to stay away from drugs and so forth. But how many of us are teaching our children about the dangers of refined sugar and refined flour? It has the same effect on the brain. It's addictive. And that's why over time, they end up getting to a place where they're 70, 80 pounds overweight. It can happen so quickly. So let's do, I wanted to do the susceptibility to refined sugar and flour quiz. Let's go to page 322. In your life book, well, actually it's called the Habits of Disease Food Addiction Susceptibility Quiz. Now, if you don't have the book, I'm going to read off the questions, and your answer is going to be simply rarely, occasionally, or daily. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. Just put an R, a O, or a D next to the numbers that I read. So let's go through this real quickly. Number 1, I find it difficult to control how much I eat. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. I find it difficult to control how much I eat. 2, I crash in the afternoon and have trouble waking up in the morning. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. 3, I have cravings for specific foods. I did. Cookies, cakes, sweet drinks, all the time. Number 4, I suffer from moodiness, headaches, or fogginess. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. Number 5, when I only eat a moderate amount of food, I am not satisfied. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. Number 6, I feel guilty after eating. Yeah, if you're laying on the couch and you can't move and it's all like that, yeah, you're feeling guilty because you know you overate. Okay, number 7, I spend a considerable amount of time thinking about food. A lot of time thinking about food. Number 8, I eat even if I am not hungry because I crave a specific food. I'm eating constantly. I eat large amounts, number 9, I eat large amounts of food and feel powerless to stop. I told you, he knew me. He knew exactly how I was. And number 10, I crave carbohydrates like pasta, bread, rice, or desserts. Rarely, occasionally, or daily. Now you're gonna add up if you have, how many rarelys you have, how many occasionallys, how many dailies. And honesty, if I was to have taken this before finding Optavia, I would have had 10 dailies because that's how I was feeling. Now taking it since I've been eating healthy and so forth, I came up with my greater than 6 was in occasionally, so I'm moderate susceptibility. But I know I truly am a high susceptibility, and I have to monitor that. If you want to throw what you are you low, mod, you can put low, mod, or high. Throw that in the chat. Low, mod, or high. Which one do you have greater than 6 in that area? Good. Good. And I bet we're going to see some lows because people are doing this amazing program. Yeah, I have a high before I started and now a low. Excellent. Great.
Low now,
This is great. Wonderful.
moderate.
If you go to page
Low now.
324 in the second paragraph, if your score was high, then you want to avoid eating sugar or refined flour processed foods now that you have reached a healthy weight. I still have to have the mindset that I'm a high because I'm prone to that. I'm going to go back to that. That's going to be my, where I'm feeling most comfortable. And I'm changing that by gaining the mindset. And one thing Dr. A taught us right away was about our surroundings. I get things, when I first started, we said, we're getting all this stuff out the house. Get it out the house, get it out the pantry, get it out the refrigerator. You've got to do those things. And as they said, I'm a teacher. And so I get a lot of the kids, teach 6th and 7th grade math, and I get the kids, they want to give me, especially at Christmas and things like that, they give me gifts of candy and all this. And then I'm the type of person, I don't want to just throw something away. And I'm not going to tell the kid, no, I'm not going to have it. No, I'm going to receive it. Here's what I did. My neighbor, they have 2 small kids. I said, look, you guys are my go-to people. When I get something in my house I'm not supposed to have, it's not going to work well for me, I'm coming next door. Will you guys receive it? They're like, yeah. So I come next door and she'll say, Dave, Adrienne's got more food for us, for the kids. And, everything in moderation would be good. But I know for me, I can't do that in moderation. So as we wrap this up, I want to just hear if there's anyone else that would like to respond to what is being taught in element 16. What are you going to do differently? Oh, we got some hands up. Crystal?
Hi, good morning, everyone. Yeah, so I just wanted to share a little bit on what we talked about, like the kids end side, because this element, of course, helped me, but I think more so with my girls now. So just when we go to like parties and events and things like that, I'm looked at as a different mom, and I've learned to be okay with that. Because I would get a lot of like, oh, it's a party. Oh, it's, let them live, let them have the cookies, let them have. And for a while I was like, okay, let them have it. But getting into this, I'm like, no, like their health matters to me. These are my kids. Like, you guys don't have that influence on them, and nobody else should have influence on our kids. So my biggest thing with them is like, yeah, let them enjoy, because they're kids, but they don't need a slice of cake this big. They share now. They can share a slice of cake, or they can have that one cookie, but I'm just teaching them, like, I don't want them to associate certain events and parties with let's go crazy and have all the sugar because it's an event. I don't want them to grow up associating that like I did growing up, and the biggest thing is like a lot of parties have like those Capri Suns and juices and things like that. And again, that's okay. But I'm always big on them carrying their canteens. My girls are known for having water everywhere we go. It's water, water, water. So I just wanted to share that just to parents out there, like your kids are your kids, and what you give them is up to you. Don't let anybody else make you feel bad. You're doing what's best for them, and that's all that matters. And I just wanted to share that.
I celebrate you for doing that. Celebrate you for having the courage, because I know it can be a lot of pressure, and especially when people think a Capri Sun is healthy. John.
Yeah, real quick, I just wanted to share some of me and Katie's experience when we went into all these extremes before Optavia with diets and all these things that we tried. It drive those cravings for the sweets for us. And Optavia really recentered us to where we don't have that anymore, and where we can feel like we can kind of thrive in our nutrition. But just thanks to the systems in Optavia, that's been great for us. It's taken us away from that versus driving us towards all that stuff. So just want to share that.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. Great. Okay, Brian and Julie.
We just had a tip or I did. The way we handled this with our kids was that they were allowed one sweet treat a day, and it was small. Sometimes it was vanilla wafers, which have like hardly any sugar in them. And that carried over. Like once they were in school, they would come home and say, oh, it was Nico's birthday today and we had cookies at school as a group, so I don't get a dessert tonight. Like they monitored themselves. And it has just carried over like into their life now as teenagers. They don't have this, don't get me wrong, they'll get off on a sugar kick from time to time, but they feel the difference, especially since they're runners, and they will actually rein themselves in. And they have this mentality of, I can have one sweet treat a day, but I cannot have multiple sweet drinks and all the things because they make me sick. So
Good. Making them aware of these things and them owning it for themselves. That's so powerful. So powerful. Opal.
Yes. So I have 4 grandchildren, and they come visit me for the summer. And so last year, and we don't get to see them during the year. So, Nana just go crazy. I just go to Costco's and just have a concession stand almost. But this year, since I've started Optavia, and their parents also are being health conscious when they do vegan and everything, and the whole family does it. So I'm like, that is awesome for me, because now I can just continue and incorporate what we have here, and they love to cook. And so I am so excited, taking them shopping with me, and we picking out the healthy things and really teaching them and getting in the kitchen. So I'm really excited about this transitioning and, just pouring into them the healthiest way that they can learn how to take care of their temples and enjoying it and having fun. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Excellent. All right, Chris.
Hey, yeah, I just want to affirm everything that everyone's sharing, because me and my wife, Yessie, saw the same trend happen in our family with us getting healthy. We have a 4 and a 2-year-old, and they're already choosing water. And even if they have too much sugar, they say, oh, Daddy, not too much sugar, because my tummy's going to hurt. And I think it's just, the kids, that it's not just, this program's not just for us, it's for our families, and setting that, someone wrote legacy and setting your family up for success. And I just wanted to share that because we saw that change in our own kids.
Excellent. Excellent. Wow. I love all the shares about how they're dealing with their children and grandchildren, because we're passing on something that's going to benefit our family for generations. I would just want to end with the one thing, and that, because it made such a big impact on me, I wouldn't give myself cocaine, crack, any of that stuff. So if you can think about the refined sugar and refined flour having the same effect on your brain as cocaine and what's the other drug? Well, the same effect as cocaine. Then maybe when you start looking at it, when you go to get that sugar, or, hopefully nobody's making Kool-Aid anymore, dumping all that sugar in there, that you think about, this is just like cocaine on my brain. And I don't want to be addicted to anything, but to love people and to share good news with them. So that's all that I have. Thank you, guys. Oh,
Rachel.
All right, Rachel.
Yeah, no, I mean, what a beautiful day to wake up and do this with you guys. I hope everyone feels as encouraged as we do. There's nothing to add. That was a beautiful teaching of your experience with this data, your experience with element 16, and really bringing us through it was so powerful. Thank you very much, the both of you, for giving us some of your morning. And then to all of you that attended, thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for showing up for your why. Every time you do this, you show up for your why. So we're just going to close it out right here, and everyone enjoy your Saturday, and we'll post this in Nourished in case you want to go and watch it again. That may be when you're having a tough day or that pile of something is in front of you, you can always rewatch this.
Share it with a friend.
Yeah. Share it with a friend. Take care, guys.